So glad you can join me in this lesson as we'll be solving questions in mathematics on arithmetic progression. So without wasting your time, let's jump into the questions. So the first question, for the sequence 5, 12, 2, so on and so forth, find the A, 60th term, B, formula for the nth term. So let's begin by solving the first part. So the formula for the nth term of an arithmetic progression, it is given by Tn equals A plus open brackets n minus 1 close bracket and then multiply by d. So in order to solve for the 60th term, we will need the first term as well as the common difference. So the first term is 5, and then for the common difference, in order to find it, we say d equals second term minus first term. So let's replace where we have second term. Our second term, it is 12, and then the first term is 5. So the common difference is 12 minus 5, you have 7 as your common difference. Now we can replace in the formula there. So where there's n, we replace with 6. So n is 6, which is the position of the term in the progression. So where there's n, we put 6, and then a 5 plus 6 minus 1, and then multiply by the common difference, which is 7, equals 5 plus let's work out what we have in the brackets. So you have 6 minus 1, it will give you 5. So you have 5, and then multiply by 7. So 5 multiplied by 7, that gives you 35. So 5 plus 35. So our 60th term, it is 5 plus 35, which is 40. So 40 is our 60th term. So we are done with the first part. Let's solve the second part of the question, which is finding the formula for the nth term. So the formula for the nth term just describes the terms in the sequence. So it can be the first term, the second term, the fourth term. They are all described by the formula for the nth term. So in order to find the formula for the nth term, let's write the formula first. Tn equals a plus n minus 1, and then d. So what we will replace is just a and d, and then where there's n, we won't put anything there. We only replace where there's a and d. So let's rewrite Tn equals, our first term is 5 plus n minus 1, and then where there's d there, we said our common difference is 7. We write 5 and then multiply 7 throughout. So you have 7 multiplied by -1, it will just give you -7. 7 multiplied by n, this is plus 7n. 5 minus 7, that gives us -2, and then plus n, plus 7n. We can rewrite this as 7n minus 2. So this is the formula for the nth term. So we can use this formula to find any term in this progression. It can be the first term, it can be the second term. We can use this formula to find any term in the sequence. So we are done with the first question. Let's move to the other question. So the second question says, given that 2, -1, -4 are consecutive terms of an arithmetic progression, find the common difference. D. B. Formula for the nth term. So let's find the common difference first. So when we say consecutive terms, that means the first term here is the term 2 is the first term, -1 it is the second term, -4 it is the third term, so on and so forth. So we can write D equals T2 minus T1, or the common difference can also be given by the third term minus the second term. So any of these can give us the common difference. It will be the same common difference no matter which one we use. So I'll go with the first one. So D equals, our second term is -1 minus 2. So what is -2 minus 2? This one gives us -3. So -3 is our common difference. And then we can move on and solve for the nth term of for the formula for the nth term. So we do the same like previously. We write the formula an plus n minus 1 and then d. We only replace where we have a and d, leave n the way it is. So we have Tn equals, what is our first term? It is 2 plus, we write n minus 1. And then where we have d, we can replace with our common difference there, which is -3. We write 2 plus, and then multiply -3 throughout what we have in the brackets. So you have -3 multiplied by -1, so this one just gives us a 3. Negative multiplied by negative is positive, so it is just 3. And then we can multiply -3 by n, which will give us -3n equals 2 plus 3, this one is just 5 minus 3n. So this is our formula for the nth term. We are done with the second question. Let's look at the other question. So an arithmetic progression is given as 1, 7, 3. Find the nth term, the 8th term, B, sum of the first 15 terms. So let's find the 8th term. So we have our formula again, Tn equals a plus n minus 1, and then d there. So we first have to find the common difference. We don't have the common difference. So common difference is d equals second term minus first term, which is equal to our second term is 7, and then our first term, you have it as 1. So it's 7 minus 1. Therefore, our common difference here, it is our common difference there, we have it as 6. So we have also the first term. The first term a is 1 there. We can replace what we have now in the formula. So we are finding the 8th term. So where there's n, we put 8 equals. Where there's a, we put 1 plus. Where there's n there, we put 8 minus 1. And then where there's d, we put 6. So we write 1, then plus, and then work out what we have in the brackets there. So 8 minus 1, this is 7. And then we can write 6 there. So what is 7 multiplied by 6? What does this one give us? You have 1 plus 7 multiplied by 6, that is 42. So it will be 1 plus 42. So our 8th term is 43. So we are done with the first part of the question, which is finding the 8th term. Now we can move on and solve the second part of the question. So which is finding the sum of the first 15 terms. The formula for the sum, it is Sn equals n over 2a plus n minus 1 and then multiplied by d. So we are finding the sum of the first 15 terms. So where there is n, we can replace with 15. We write 15 over 2. Our first term, it is 1, then plus n, it is given by 8, minus, oh no, it's not 8, we have it as 15, minus 1, and then our common difference, it is 6. So we can write 15 over 2. What is 2 minus 2 multiplied by 1? That is just 2 plus, and then 15 minus 1, we have it as 14. So you can write 14 and then multiply by 6. 15 over 2 over 2, and then 14 multiplied by 6, we have it as 84. It is 84. 6 multiplied by 4, you have it as 24. So you write 4, carry 2, and then 6 multiplied by 1, you have it as 6, plus that 2, it is 84. Equal to 15 over 2 2 plus 84, you have it as, you can wrap this, we have it as 86. So we can divide 2 into 86. So this one just gives us 15, then multiplied by 43. 15 multiplied by 43. 15 multiplied by 43. 643 as our answer there. So our last question goes like, given that 25 and 13 are the first and third terms of an arithmetic progression, respectively, find the second term and formula for the nth term. So Let's begin by finding the second term. So we have been given the first term, which is 25, and the third term, which is 13. Let's write our formula first. Tn equals a plus n minus 1, and then d there. Let's first find the common difference using the third term, which is 13. So we can replace where we have Tn with the third term, and then where we have a with the 25, and our only unknown in this question will be d. We can find it after that then. So where there's Tn, we replace with the 13 equals, where there's a, we put 25 plus, where there's n, since it's the third term we are using, we put 3 minus 1, and then d, we do not know it, so we can rewrite 13 equals 25 3 minus 1, that gives us 2, so plus 2, and then 2, that 2 multiplied by d, it will just give us 2d. The 25 can go to the other side, it is positive. When it goes to the other side, it will become a negative. So you have 2d equals 13 minus 25. 2d equals, what is 13 minus 25? Negative 12. And then divide by 2, divide by 2. So 2 and 2 will cancel out. Then d equals negative 6. Since 2 divided by 12, they are negative 12, which just gives us negative 6. So to find our second term, which is T2, we can get our first term a and then add it to the common difference. So you have 25 minus 6. So this gives you 25 minus 6, this gives you 19. So 19 there, it is our second term. Let's now go to the other part of the question, which is finding the formula for the nth term. We write our formula a plus n minus 1, and then d there. We do the same like previous. Where there's n, we do not replace with anything, but where there's a, we put 25 plus, where there's n, still we do not replace with anything, but where there's d there, we can put our common difference, which is negative 6. So you have 25, then we distribute or we multiply 6 with what is in the brackets. So negative 6 multiplied by negative 1, you have positive 6. And then negative 6 multiplied by negative 6 multiplied by n, you have negative 6n, equal to 25 plus 6, this gives you 31 minus 6n. So this is our formula for the nth term. We have come to the end of the lesson, and thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next video, and subscribe to my channel.